Hey, leaders, welcome back. A new year and a new you. This is more than just a buzz phrase or marketing slogan. Really, we want to help you develop into an amazing, impactful leader. In part one, we talked about things that you should be doing on a daily basis, identifying 3 to 5 things that you want to spend time on within a 24-hour period. Today, I want to talk to you in part two about leadership upgrades. A little more than just daily. This is looking at the year more so than just on that kind of 24-hour period. And I do this every single year for myself. I assess where I am as a leader, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You have to be honest. You have to be truthful and maybe even get feedback from the people around you. But then when I do that assessment, I look at myself and I say, okay, where have I been? Where do I want to go? Where do I want to improve? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? And what areas in my leadership require that fine-tuning, that adjustment, that development? Remember, if we can improve 1% in every area of our leadership, we are going to be so much further ahead by the end of the year. So let me give you the 5 that I normally look at on a yearly basis. You can modify it according, to your own needs as a leader and where you are in life and what have you. But for me, these are very, very important. Number one, I always want to be the most emotionally intelligent person in the room, right? That is simple to say, but hard to do. Number two, I really want to focus on being strategic and not just tactical. In other words, looking at the big picture and how we win rather than just doing the tasks and checking off boxes, which people get a lot of satisfaction in doing that. But sometimes you're just like a little, someone like on a treadmill. There's a lot of motion, but you're not going anywhere. So strategic over just tactical. By the way, both are important. Don't get me wrong. Number 3, I like to measure capacity and workload. So not only my capacity, but the capacity of my team. How are we operating as a team? Are we more effective? Can we do more? Are we better at organization and scheduling and so forth? So I measure my own capacity. And then, of course, I measure the capacity of my team. I always want to be innovating. I want to operate in giftings like curiosity and dreaming, and if I'm not innovating enough, then I want people around me that are dreamers and that are wanderers, not in a bad, wanderers, and not in a bad sense, but they're wondering what can happen, what could be possible if we just gave ourselves to believing that all things can be done if we put our heart and our mind to it. And then the last one is that I want to be less operational and more inspirational. How do I inspire people through vision, through direction, and not just get involved in the nitty-gritty part of the day, which is incredibly important. So those are my 5 upgrades that I look at from a leadership perspective. And what I do from there is I begin to put action into place. So in other words, how am I going to develop in these areas? Do I have the right resources around me? Do I have the right people around me? Do I need to go to a conference? Do I need to, buy a book or listen to a podcast on being more strategic and less tactical, if you will? We live in a day, there is so much that is available to us, whether it is on the internet or, books, if you will, going to Chapters or Kohl's or whatever, wherever you may be, and picking up a resource, a material, an article. There is just so much on the shelf of leadership that it is absolutely phenomenal. So you're going to have to decide, do I invest in myself? Where do I invest in myself? How do I improve? How do I get better? But first and foremost, identify your leadership upgrades. Some of you might have financial aspects of it that you want to develop. Listen, borrow mine, steal mine, it doesn't matter. Hopefully this will inspire you. But if we're looking at the top 5 things in our dailies, when we look at our entire year and we say, where am I going to upgrade my leadership so that when we say new year, new you, we're not just, blowing smoke into the air, but there is a reality to what we're going to accomplish. And I guarantee you that by the end of the year, you will be so much more impactful and further ahead.